Hey everybody, welcome to eTrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Hollywood Rack Sport Rider SE 2-bike platform rack for electric bikes on our 2020 Cadillac Escalade. Now this is going to be a nice, simple, clean way of getting those electronic bikes on the trailhead and on the roads with us to where we want to go. With 80-pound capacity per bike, we're going to get some of those beefy boys up on here with no problem. So if you're looking a way of getting those high-weight bikes to the trail with you, this is going to be one of your best options. Now keep in mind, with those electronic bikes, we want to make sure we are removing those battery packs. A, it's going to cut down weight. B, we're not going to be damaging it as we go down the road, and we're just going to make the system a nice and smooth ride for ourselves by taking that battery off. But keep in mind, the frames themselves are going to be pretty heavy, so the weight capacity is going to be a great option for us today. Taking a look, you can see at these long wheel hoops here that are actually going to kind of secure our tires as they go down. A nice distance on either side here. As you can see, we're going to be able to fit most of our standard bikes in the simple cradle here, as well as accommodating for those fat tire bikes, especially on those fat e-bikes. You know, you start getting a lot of weight. It's going to be nice to actually get those wheels nice and secured. And you can see we have this simple ratcheting strip here that's just simply going to go across, line up with that ratchet, and then we want to go ahead and get this rubber padding in line with our wheel. That's just going to prevent any damage to our rims as we get this nice and secured like that. And at the top here, we have this ratcheting locking arm system. As you can see, it does have cores here that can't allow this to lock, and that'll be keyed alike to itself. So that's always a nice standard that you see in this industry. And you can see all we simply have to do is press this lever up and slide that up. Now keep in mind, this is a frame contact system, so if you're looking at a way of getting those carbon frame bikes to your destination, I really wouldn't recommend this. Besides being way over that weight capacity, this frame contact will end up damaging your bike, so it's probably not going to be the best option for us today. So let's go ahead and get this guy up and out of the way. To actually take this guy off, we're going to go ahead and just take these straps, simply walk it through, giving it a little bit of help there, and then we can just pull it right on through, get that strap nice and out of the way like so, and repeating the process on the other side and leaving our frame contact for our last endeavor. I like to go ahead and make it easy on myself, just get right to the contact. As you can see, allowing that tension to relieve itself makes it real simple to pull out, and then we just want to get that strap out of the way for ourselves. And then coming to the middle again, we have this frame post here. This ratcheting system, quite easy to use. Again, on that locking core, we just simply press up on the lever, and now grabbing our bike, we can simply start to walk it out. Keep in mind, you might want to tilt away from that seat a little bit. I like getting this to the middle and just completing our rotation out. And now we're good to hit the trail. So again, pretty simple. It gets a little hard to maneuver this, especially with that weight. So, you know, an extra set of hands is always nice. You are dealing with a very large bike, but as it is, not too bad to actually get it in there. Another big feature I did want to show you before I got that bike off is we can actually tilt this away, but let's go ahead and show you it right now. All we want to do is actually remove this pin and clip system. It can hang right there, and we want to go ahead and pull on this top knob where we actually are secured. As you can see, this is going to allow us to tilt away, and we can actually pop open our hatch here. You can see it's going to swing away. As you can see, I think we actually are going to have issues with keeping our bike on there. We're not getting that much of a spread. This Escalade does have a very long hatch, so you are going to run into some issues there. So the tilt away feature might not be able to best actually access this on this vehicle, but as you can see, hopefully we can get in here, get our cargo that we want. There are a couple other models out there. If you are really looking to utilize this cargo area, I think you're not going to be really able to get away with it. However, you still are getting those really heavy e-bikes on there. I don't think you're going to be able to beat this guy for its capacity rating, and that's really why we have it on here. Taking a look too, we can go ahead and condense this down as much as we want. Taking a look, you see we have this simple pin system. We just want to line it up on the back end here of where that little bar is on the insert. As you can see, it has a little notch filling it for you, so you can flip it. That way you're not worried about where it's going if it's falling out. And then we can simply walk this guy down and out of the way. Getting those arms in the middle there is going to be nice to also condense it. Now keep in mind, with any hitch mounted accessory, we are going to add some length to our vehicle. So let's go ahead and take a look at how much we are adding with this guy from the rear of our bumper here to the very end, which looks like the top of this ratchet post. We have about 30 inches or so from the rear of our vehicle. So a little lengthy, not too bad, but we are in the Escalade, so every little bit we can get is going to help us. So once we have the bikes off of the trailhead, let's see how much we can actually reduce that. Again, if you see in the main assembly here, let's go ahead and just keep that guy hanging. We have this bolt right here that we also want to pull back again. Again, you want to support this mast just to take a little bit of the weight tension off, pulling it up a little bit, and then we can simply walk this into place, pulling that back bolt out, and it's going to click right in there for us. So we can go ahead and replace this pin. It's not integral when it's in this position, but we don't want it hanging around and banging up our rack at all. So it's nice and secured out of the way. As you can see, this is going to be really secured in here. You're going to get a little bit of play, but again, we're not going to have any issue with our clearance to our vehicle. Taking a look, looks like we're about 5 inches or so from our vehicle. So again, we're not going to have any issues. Like you can see, that's going to be nice and secure to not actually hit the back of our vehicle. So we're not going to be too worried. And let's take a look at how much length we actually shortened down with that maneuver. And you can see too, looks like about here is going to be 15 inches. So already half of that distance shaved down. Hopefully now we can get this in our garage, we can get our bikes off, we can start parking where we need to at the trailhead with a little bit more ease. Another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance. Now being in the Escalade, I don't think we're going to have too many issues. We do sit up high quite well, but keep in mind as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and at 22 and an eighth, looks like we're going to have not too much issue with any of that steep terrain. Keep in mind, very large driveways or very tall hills. Just keep in the back of your mind that you have a little bit of clearance there, but I definitely don't think we're going to have any issues. Take a look down here. We do have a 2-inch receiver to our 2-inch hitch. The thing I like to point out, this little hitch stopper right here, it's going to be great. It's going to find exactly where that hole is. We don't have to get a hitch pin alignment collar. We don't have to do anything like that. All we simply have to do, walk this in. It's going to stop itself, and that allows us to easily put in this bolt right here. All that simply does, though, is actually secure it to our vehicle and allow us to have a locking core attachment. You can see that's going to lock right in. And again, we talked about those earlier. Those will go on those ratcheting arms as well. And being the same key, we only need one, and we won't be worrying about it too much of which one is which. It'll work for our entire system. And that brings us to our anti-rattle device in the back end here. As you can see, pretty cool little guy right here. All we have to do is simply take this in the clockwise position to actually tighten up our hitch receiver in there. It's just going to bind it. We're getting a lot less play up and down, side to side. As you can see, it's going to bring us in line with our frame, making for a smoother ride for our bikes, smoother ride for us, and overall just a more enjoyable experience when we're getting this guy on the road. Again, if you're looking way of getting those e-bikes, those very heavy bikes, to the trail with you, this is going to be one of your best options. I think it might be the highest capacity rating I've seen so far, so definitely going to be for those weighty, meaty boys. A little upsetting that I can't get that hatch open with that tilt-away feature. However, I don't think you're going to be able to beat that capacity, so kind of paying for what you get for on that guy. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the Hollywood Rack Sport Rider SE 2-bike carrier for electric bikes on our 2020 Cadillac Escalade. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.